Hi, this is Aminata. Wanted to say thank you for your support of my Black Lives Matter speech. And there is so much going on right now, and people are speaking here, there, everywhere. And I know you're being bombarded with what people are writing and saying. So on the one hand, I kind of want to be quiet, but also kind of got two things that I want to share. And I always try to be conscientious and share something that can contribute. You don't just want to talk just to talk. And so this first thing that I want to talk to you about is about compassion, understanding racism, and this concept of the neutral zone. And so one of the things I see right now, I see, the beauty of this moment, and let me be clear, there is chaos and there's tremendous pain because this wound is open, but this wound is being shared all over the world, right? And so there's this awakening and people are standing up. And so this is really unheard of. We've had protests and things like that before, but not to this extent and not with this many people involved globally. So let's be clear about that. And so part of that is because this wound is open and we are all feeling it. And so the beauty of it is that all these people are standing up. And so for a lot of people, this is new. Let's be clear. For a lot of people, this is new. And so I see people saying, well, they're finally here or they're finally joining in and they're asking questions, and it is painful. And so what I want to start off by saying is, yes, you have to understand how racism works. Racism is not just about you have an oppressor and you have those who are oppressed. That's the simplified version. That is not how this works. You have this system of inequality. You have this system that I refer to as the dominant and the other. And the reason that it has lived and that this has been so pervasive for hundreds of years, because there's these mechanisms that have kept it in place, right? And so, Black people are like, we've been saying this for years and you didn't hear it before. No, they didn't. That's how the system works. That's how well-oiled the machine is. That's how good the poison Kool-Aid works. And I apologize to Kool-Aid, lovely drink, but thanks to John Jones, we have this beautiful metaphor. So imagine this painful thing is going on. And there's this group of people, whenever this painful thing is going on, they don't notice it. Well, how come they don't notice it? It is designed for them not to notice. It was designed for them not to notice. Every time they did notice or they did feel something, they get a sip from the poison Kool-Aid, or there's something saying, oh, no, look over here. You don't have to deal with that. And so you can be upset about that, but if you're upset about it, that means that you do not understand how the system works. You don't understand the fact that they didn't know. The fact that they're showing up now is like, oh my God, I didn't know. And oh my God, what do I do? Yep. That's how well the system has worked. That's how well the system was able to maintain itself. Yes. Right? So don't get upset about it. Understand how the system works. What matters is that they are here. Also, you have to understand, because they are new to this wound, they are hurting, they are confused, they are in pain. And they are allowed to. They're allowed to. They have to do the work and process that. They need to have that space. They are allowed to. What you have to understand, especially those of us of African descent, we have had our medicine all this time to help us cope. The reason that we're still here, the reason that we are still as functioning as well as we do, is because we had our medicine. We had people praying over us. We had people drumming over us. We had people singing the blues, jazz, hip hop, field hollers, all that. That's what that was about. That was not for our entertainment. That was so that we could function, so we could make sense of this world that didn't want us and that treated us a certain way. If we did not have that music, if we didn't have these songs, if we didn't have that medicine, we wouldn't be where we are right now. You know, gospel, spirituals, that was our medicine. And so that was our gift to the world. And I think, the majority of the people who did not come from this culture, they appreciated it, they enjoyed it, but they consumed it. They didn't necessarily use that music as medicine the way we have. When you look at the blues, the biggest patrons are white people. But the blues started in backyards. The blues was about pain. The blues was about, this is how I make it through. Let me tell you my story. And so we don't talk about the racism we experience as Black people. We don't, not with each other, because it's too painful. And we got life to live. That's depressing. So we have, it's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how it came from going under. That's where we put that stuff. That's how we communicate and how we dealt and cope with our pain. That's how we were able to manage. So these people who are new, they didn't have that. So they're in shock. They're in pain. Yes. Don't be upset about that. Understand how the system works. Understand that this is what we had. They didn't have that. So all this time, the way we were able to function is because we had our medicine. We had our ways. We had our oral traditions, our music, our arts. Again, that's why, during slavery, we would, after a 16-hour workday, you would still dance all night long. Why? Because the dancing affirms my humanity. It's not because we like dancing so much. Because if I don't dance, then I for sure will die, because this insanity in this life that denies my humanity. In my dance, I connect with my ancestors. In my dance, I connect with nature around me. In my dance, it lets me know, no, you do matter. So we had that magic. We had that medicine. We had that gift. And these new people who are new to the fold, they didn't have that. So they are in shock, they are in pain, and you have to have some compassion and understand that, because we need them, and they are our family too. Yeah, I said it. They are our family too. But again, so the fact that they're confused and in pain, and now they want to talk, and now they want to hear our stories, and we're just like, we are in pain and we're tired. And so that's why, and I shared this recently with this group of activists. I introduced this concept, and it's not evidence-based, nothing. There's something I came up with, so you can reject it if you want. But that's why I present this idea of the neutral space, right? So you have this neutral space where when people come, they want to join, but they're confused and I don't know, oh my God, and fragility and all that. Please feel free to work it out. I take a step back. There's the neutral space. Do your thing. I'll wait. And when you've done the work, because it requires work, it's not like, oh, I'm here and I want to join. No. You have to do the work. You have to do the soul searching. You have to deal with all this stuff that has come up and I didn't know. You're allowed to feel all that, but you have to do the work to process that. You do that in the neutral space. And you do not ask me to do the work for you. You do not ask me to carry you through that, which is what is happening a lot, right? So you are allowed, you need to do that work, but you're going to do that in a neutral space. And I'm going to take a step back and give you your space to do that. I'm not going to judge you, but I'm also not going to carry you. I'm not going to carry you because that's not my job. I will love you, support you, applaud you from afar, do the work. And when you've done the work, then you will come and join us. All right? So what this means, you need to have a level of compassion. And if you understand that these people, even though they might not look like you, and even though they might have joined up yesterday, they are your brothers and sisters. That's the challenge. That's the challenge. And that's what elevates us to be high. I don't know, and maybe it's too much woo-woo and spirituality and all of that. But you have to look beyond, these conditions that we as human beings have created. We're in this beautiful moment where these things are being dismantled. And we need each other, And so the pain is there because it's out of these wounds that we are standing up. The pain is there, right? The anger is there. But there also needs to be compassion, And I can do a whole thing. If you really study warriors, if you study samurai, you study warriors like Native Americans, it's not just about rage and I can kill you. It's also about a level of humanity and a level of compassion that's always in balance when it comes to being a warrior. Right? And so if anything I can give you as far as how we have to move forward is that you have to start using the neutral space. You can come, you can fall apart, scream, holler, do your thing. Do it over there. Do whatever you're allowed. Just don't ask me to do it for you. Don't ask me to carry you through it. And see, and if you are serious, then you do the work. Then you do the work. You know, and there's some who will try and like, oh, it's too hard, and they'll leave. And that's fine too. And then maybe they come back one day, maybe they won't. But part of this racism, part of this mechanism also is that the fact that you get upset, the fact that you go, oh, here they come, that is a distraction. That's how the system works. That's what they want you to do. That's what it wants you to do. Rather than us getting together and growing, it's like, oh, well, I'm more woke than he is. You're late. You're this. All that is distraction. All that is a waste of energy and a waste of time. So you have to tap into your humanity so we can uphold each other's humanity. Don't get distracted. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, right? When you see that stuff happening, you know, all this energy being spent on, well, they were not this and they were that. That's the Kool-Aid at work. Work on the detox. Get rid of the Kool-Aid. That's the Kool-Aid at work. And remember, we all drink the Kool-Aid. Start recognizing it in yourself. When you start putting people down, that's distracting you from humanity. That's the Kool-Aid at work. Work on that, right? Work on that. So, I'm sorry I got a little bit passionate and heated because, again, I'm listening a lot and I'm watching, and that's one of the things that keep coming up that really is like, you know, let's you know, we need to do work on the legislation that needs to change. Yes. But it's these things that affects all of us, you know, as far as how we deal with each other and how this racism, and not just racism, but any of these kind of institutions have shaped us and how we relate to each other. And again, it is, you know, it requires work, and it requires love and compassion. And again, and you know, and use the anger and the pain as your fire. Don't lose that, but it needs to be in balance. And let's start there. And so that's what I wanted to share with you.